Welcome to Real People, Real Stories, where we are interviewing people just like you and me who have had success with redox molecules. My name is Dr. Barbie Phillips, and I'm coming to you from Fargo, Oklahoma. I'm a chiropractic physician for people and animals, and I was introduced to these molecules about 5 years ago, and they have definitely made a change for people in my business as well as my family. And we're so excited to interview a guest tonight. But before we get started, I will ask each person that is not being interviewed to go ahead and turn your cameras off and mute your microphones as we get started. And if you're new to what redox molecules are, if you're joining us for the first time, I'm going to share a little bit about what's in this nice blue bottle that we're going to be talking about tonight. There is a liquid in there that you can drink, and then there's also a gel that you can rub on. And these molecules are native to the human body. They're bioidentical in this bottle to what our body already makes. But as we get older, especially after about the age of puberty, we start decreasing the ability to make these molecules. Why is that important? Because they control so much cellular function. Our cells need them to communicate and to do their job. So, what do we do with these molecules when we drink them or we rub them on? Well, these molecules replenish what we're deficient in so that our cells can start communicating once again, hopefully, eventually to the level that they were when we were younger. And these molecules are very small. So once we are able to consume them, they absorb right into the cell very easily. And they act as an on off switch to the cells. They turn the good cells on and the bad cells off. So that's really great. And this works even all the way down to the genetic level. When this happens, it has a cascade effect to other cells around, and over time, this increases our resilience to stress and creates overall wellness. So, I am going to mention a disclaimer here before I turn it over to our co host tonight. And that disclaimer is that we're not intending to diagnose or treat any medical condition. We're simply hearing about the wonderful journey and testimony of our guest tonight. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our co host, Sherry Marshall.
Thank you, Barbie. Appreciate you asking me on tonight because I can't wait to interview Patsy. But before that, just a little bit about me. I've been with ASEA for 11 years. I was a corporate executive with AT&T for 30 years. I can't believe that, but I've been retired for a long time. And these molecules have absolutely changed my life for the better. Had really horrible headaches in the past, the kind that can put you into an emergency room, and haven't had one of those in 11 years. Lots of other stories that I could tell you, but I got to tell you, I can't wait to get over to Patsy and find out about her story. So, Patsy, thank you so much for being on tonight. Before we get started, tell everybody your background.
I'm Patsy. I am a retired nurse. I worked for 42 years in a hospital taking care of babies. Uh, I'm a single mom. I have an adopted daughter. And I was introduced to these molecules by my brother and sister-in-law. I watched as their lives changed, and finally one day I asked them what they were doing, and they told me about redox. At that time, I was having problems with brain fog and not remembering how to do procedures that I had to do at work. And I was having a lot of problems with mobility. I was having problems getting from one place to the other. But after about 2 months, I could tell a real big difference. It has really changed my life. I was thinking I was going to have to retire early. I was able to work for 4 more years before I retired. I love these products.
Wow, that's amazing. So being a nurse, were you just a little skeptical at the beginning?
A little, but I had seen what it had done for Teddy and Stacy. And I thought if that's helping them, especially Teddy, because he'd sit down at the table and he was asleep
Wow.
as soon as we got through eating. And we would sit the day I asked him about it, he had sat there and talked for the longest, and I thought, what is going on? I need to know about this stuff.
Well, that's so true. Seeing is believing, right? Because you're seeing it before your eyes. But so many people, when they're first introduced to this, like most of us, we're like, wait a minute, can it be that good? So once that you got started and you said that what kind of problems were you dealing with specifically? Being compliant, but
Uh, Memory
okay.
and the brain fog.
Okay. And how long before you saw maybe some results on that?
On the brain fog, maybe 3, 4 weeks.
Wow. Okay. And how much were you taking, Patsy?
I started out taking 4 ounces a day, 2 in the morning, 2 at night. And I increased it. I take 8 now a day. If I'm having difficulties, I take more.
Excellent. Excellent. So what's it? I know the brain fog and the memory really got better. Was there anything else that you really saw that was a big change?
Once I started taking the mood, I was able to come off a medication I had been taking for over 30 years.
Wow. That's a big deal.
That is a great deal. I am very
Yes.
proud of that.
Well, that's
You
amazing.
know, with the mood and the redox. Well, I take all of the cell performances now,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
love every one of them. But I'm going to say my biggest thing is the gel. I had to have some teeth pulled, several at one time, and I took the gel with me. And as soon as they pulled the teeth, I had them put the gel in my mouth on the gauze. And I had no bleeding by the time I left the doctor's office. It had stopped
Wow.
completely. I never had any swelling. I never had any bruising. I use
That's amazing.
I use the gel for everything.
Me too. It's kind of like my first aid kit, all in a all in a little gel.
That's right. It's in
Right,
my
right.
purse. It's in my bathroom. It's by my bed. It's everywhere I go.
Oh, me too. Me too. Yes, it's the first thing we reach for. Well, was there anything like there's usually an aha moment for some people where you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that it did that? Maybe one of your family members or for you. I mean, you've already told us 3 or 4 aha moments, but was there any other one that you can think of with friends or family that you actually saw yourself that you were like, wow, that's incredible?
Yeah, I saw one of my sisters who was having breathing problems, had had them for several years. She has not been since she started taking it, she doesn't have any breathing issues. She doesn't have to do any inhalers or anything anymore.
Wow.
It has really helped all of my family members.
That's got to be a real, real blessing to sit around the table, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, or whatever, and know that your family has this little protection around them. Obviously, still things can happen to us, obviously, but there's this protective barrier that's there, right? So you
That's
guys
right.
are, yeah, it's like super people. It's great. Well, is there anything else that you feel like you'd like to share with the audience tonight that maybe I haven't asked you that you're like, shoot, I really wanted to share this? Something that you feel like would be real important for them to know?
I'm struggling.
Okay, that's all right. I mean, for me, there was always that the one thing for me was my cat, and everybody goes, my aha moment for me was when my cat had this big old lump on her throat and the vet really had given up on her and said, let's go ahead and put this cat down. And I had them shave that area and we put the gel on that area. And then I also gave it to my cat. And in 23 days, that lump had reduced by 85%. And even the vet couldn't believe it. So it was that was my aha moment. A cat gave me my aha moment, Patsy. because all of the other wonderful things that had happened to me didn't affect me as much as that did. So sometimes we never know what it is that's going to really turn the corner and make us go, oh my gosh, I've got to run with my hair on fire. So we appreciate you so much being on tonight. If there's anything else that you can think of, I know that you've met a lot of people since you've been in ASEA. I'm blessed to have been able to meet you in person. And I'm from Texas, so we don't live anywhere close, but thank goodness we go to some events and get to see each other. Is there anything about meeting some of the people or going to some of the places that you've got to go to that has kind of impressed you with ASEA?
I have really enjoyed every bit of it. I've went places I didn't know I would ever get to go. We went to Salt Lake City back in the fall. I'm trying to think where we went. And we were able to go up in the mountains and walk around. I never thought I would be able to do that again.
Wow.
And the people are all so amazing. You don't meet a stranger. They treat you like family. It has just been a wonderful experience. And I can't
Wonderful.
wait to find out this new product is.
I know. I know. Me too. Me too. Well, I can't wait to see you. I'm sure I'll see you in January. And for
I
those
know it.
listening, yes, for those listening, that is the beauty of this business is that you come together and we may not be blood family, but we're family people. And we come together and we can't wait to see each other again. And that's something that I never had in corporate America. Yes, I had friends in corporate America, but I never had that whole family feel. It's like a huge family reunion. So thank you so much for letting us interview you tonight, Patsy. Something that I wanted to add is that if you're looking at this for the first time, there's three ways for you to really experience this technology. One is that you can buy it retail. And I'll be honest with you, I don't believe in retail. I just think that's just spending more money than what you need to do. But if you want to try it that way, we let you try it that way. The second way is that you can become what's called a preferred customer. For that, the way that you get the same price that we all pay is that all you have to be is on a subscription. That subscription can be changed or it can be canceled at any time. This company is the most ethical company I've ever seen in my life. And I've been around 74 years. So I've had a life. And it's absolutely amazing how ethical they are. So that particular way, you just stay on the subscription and you pay the same price we pay. And then the third way is if you decide to join us by sharing this technology with others, then it's just a $40 one-time fee to be able to be an associate. If you are on subscription, there's no other fee, even yearly fee that you do. For that, you get your own website, and you're able to make money from that point forward, and bring people into the fold and educate them on this technology. There's three ways. Whichever way you decide is the right way. And that's the thing I love about this. You decide what's right for you. So Barbie, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much, Patsy. You did such a fantastic job. We appreciate that information. I will mention at this point that if you do purchase product, be sure and purchase your product from a reputable associate. There are products online that we don't know that you're getting the right product. You certainly don't get the 30-day money-back guarantee that the company does offer when you purchase new products from them. And they're such a fantastic company to work with. Also, the person that introduced you to this will educate you about all the products that they offer. There are some other product lines that we can discuss with you. And so that is such important information. At this time, I would like to see if there's anybody that has a question for Patsy before we wrap it up. I don't see any questions in the chat, so we got a quiet group tonight. We want to thank all our guests for joining us tonight, and this is recorded. It will be posted on our Creation Chiropractic YouTube channel, so you can find it there. And our next Zoom call will be interviewing a couple, which will be really great to kick off the new year. And we do these calls every second and fourth Monday of the month. And that will be January 13th at 6:30 Central. So we hope that each of you can join us. Again, thank you, Patsy, for your time and your wonderful interview. And Sherry, thank you so much for being our co-host tonight. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.